What's up, this the True Stars Warrior. Today we're going to go through all the blaster pistols in the original trilogy. There's a lot to go through, so let's get into it. A blaster pistol is a small handheld weapon that shot bolts. They can be found in a semi, burst, or fully automatic mode. These are versatile weapons. They are easily carried and concealed, making them popular throughout the galaxy. First up is the DX-17. This is a fast-firing blaster that drained quickly. It had a semi-automatic mode that could be shot for a longer duration of time as seen on Tantive 4. The fire rate plus the decent accuracy made it a standard blaster of the Rebel Alliance. However, some Imperials carried this blaster too. It is even used on an open barrel like the one at Echo Base. It is developed by the Blastech Industries. The model of the blaster was made from a Sterling SMG, which is the same gun used for the E11. Next up is the SC-14C. This is a 5-round burst used by the Empire. A smuggler known as Pondabar owned one of these and tried to shoot Luke with it at Mos Eisley, just before Obi-Wan Kenobi Kentucky sliced his arm. It is a common misconception that he was carrying a basic SC-14, but it just looks like that because Obi-Wan cut the scope off. The gun was also made by the Blastech Industries. It was made for close encounters. It was modeled from the Wrexham favorite SMG. The next category is light blaster pistols. These weapons usually had a moderate fire rate and could shoot a lot of bolts before they had to be recharged. They were easy to control and had good accuracy. Their damage output was also nothing to be slept on. A popular model of light blaster pistols was the Blastech Industries DL-18. It was owned by a lot of bounty hunters and smugglers. Many of Jabba's Goonies were armed with one of these. However, they weren't very effective against the Jedi Luke because the bolts could be easily reflected. It was modeled after the RO Panther Deluxe targeting pistol, which tends to have good accuracy since it was used for target shooting. Another light blaster pistol is the Roby K-23, aka the Stinger pistol. It did low damage but was pretty painful. The blasters were carried by Bespin guards. The version in Battlefront 2 did poison damage. It was developed by Blastech Industries. It was modeled after a spear gun, the same spear gun used to make Boba Fett's unnamed sidearm. He also had another sidearm called the Sakros K11 that looked kinda like the DL-18. Lando also carried an unknown blaster in his holster while on the Home 1 cruiser. It was modeled from a P9 pistol. A variant of light blaster pistols are Holdout Blessings. These guns could be well concealed and easily drawn. A common holdout blaster among scout troopers was the EC-17 holdout blaster. Biker scouts used it because it was easy to pull out and hold while on a speeder. It had a targeting system that made it easier to hit people while on a speeder. Some models had a non-lethal flash setting that blinded enemies. This blaster was developed by Blastech Industries. Another category is sporting pistols. They were light, sleek, and easy to use. They were commonly used by nobles. Their primary use was hunting. In A New Hope, Leia uses a Satine's Lament Defender pistol, which is a Defender class sporting pistol. It was developed by the Drarian Defense Conglomerate and was modeled after a Margolin target pistol. In Return of the Jedi, Leia has a new blaster. This blaster is called the X30 Lance. It had a wider and shorter barrel than the Satine's Lament. This blaster was also modeled from a Margolin target pistol. However, the developers of this blaster was the Sorosub Corporation. Finally, we made it to heavy blaster pistols. These blasters packed a lot of punch, being able to eat through most armor. That being said, they overheated quickly, making them rely heavily on the handler's accuracy and marksmanship. First is the DT-12. It was Greedo's weapon of choice. However, he only shot it once before being shot by Han. It had a low firing rate like most heavy blast pistols. It was modeled out of a Ruger pistol. The next blasters were all modeled after the Mauser C96, the first one being the Blastech's DL-21, a go-to blaster for deadly power and accuracy. The Blastech industry also created the DL-44, which is one of the most powerful blaster pistols in the galaxy. Han Solo used a modified version of this that was even more powerful. The Mersum Munitions took this design and made the Model 47, and later the Model 57. Han trades out his DL-44 for a 57. Lucas also equipped with one of these and even pulled it out on poor old man revolting garbage can Puppet Yoda. It was very popular with both factions. The same company also made the Power 5 blaster pistol, which was another powerful heavy blaster pistol. For a bonus, I'm going to go through some blasters that I could not identify. Some of these are really weird. I don't know if it's some editing mistakes or what, but I could not find them. I did a lot of research for this video, and I still couldn't find them. So I want to see if y'all can figure out what these blasters are. I'm going to go through some speculations on what I think they are. I'm also going to tell you what blasters I don't think they are, and why I think that. I really hope y'all can figure out what blasters are, because I've been putting in a lot of research, and I really don't want that time to go to waste. It's going to be pretty hard, because some of these don't even look like blasters. But I believe y'all can find them. If y'all find them, put them in the comments. Y'all might just get a shout out. So let's get it started with our first blaster. The first example is at Tatooine. One of Jabba's Goonies appears to be carrying a modern day pistol. I don't know if he pulled up on the scene with a Glock 19 or what, but he wasn't playing no games. He said, "Bump a blaster, I want to shoot that heavy metal." But in all seriousness, I'm assuming this is just an editing mistake. It's possible it could be the model of Glock, Ruger, Hector, Remington, Kimber, or any other handgun of that shape. But it's fun to speculate what blaster is, so that's what I'm going to do. The first thing I noticed about this blaster was its shape. It had a small size and a thick barrel. Its thick barrel makes me assume that it's a heavy blaster, such as Greedo's DT-12. But we can definitely rule out guns modeled after the Mauser, such as the DL-44. It also has a vastly different barrel shape than the DT-12. So I had to look elsewhere to find a blaster that looked remotely similar to this one. The blaster I found was the Westar 35, which is a Mandalorian blaster. So maybe this dude is secretly a Mandalorian. Just kidding. Mandalorians aren't Goonies. They're fearless warriors. But I think the Westar 35 barrel was too thick anyway. I just want to point out that this blaster looks similar to a gun used to make Lando's Unknown Blaster. So tell me what blasters y'all think this is in the comments below. Next we have this pistol carried by this Imperial Officer. This one is kinda difficult. I can't even tell what type of blaster pistol this is from the screenshot. All I can tell you is that it's a pretty small gun with an extra grip attached and what seems to be 2 scopes. My first guess was that it was an SE-14, but the end of the barrel isn't blunt enough. The grip is also too close to the handle. My second guess was a DL-18, but this pistol doesn't have an extra grip. Then I realized its shape was kinda similar to a Mauser. It just had a weird scope on it. However, it doesn't look like any other kind we see in the movie. Now that I think about it, it kind of looks like a mixture between an SE-14 and a Model 44. But don't quote me on that because I could be tripping. And don't forget to comment what you think. For this one, I can't tell if it's a pistol or a carbine. The stormtrooper is also holding it pretty weird. Like, I don't know who he's planning on shooting with that. But I don't think it's going to end too well for him. Well, I guess we know why stormtroopers never hit their shots now. With the way he's holding it, you can't see the handle. It looks like a straight stick. I can't tell you what that thing is, but I can tell you that the tip of that gun most definitely does not look like the tip of an E11. It also doesn't appear to have a scope that E11s tend to have. I can also tell you that this blaster kind of looks like the Sterling SMG, which is what the E11 is based off of, which means that it is possible that this was supposed to be an E11 blaster. Special emphasis on supposed to be. However, just saying that would be taking the easy way out, and that's not my style. So I'm going to give you more options. One being the EE3 carbine, and the other one being the EE4. The common feature between these guns being the first half, with its serrated barrel and indented tip. We can cross out the EE4 because it doesn't have an extra grip. That leaves us with the EE3. You might be saying the EE3 is too long, but if you take the stock off, it looks the same size as this. So maybe Palpatine just had Vader fetch Boba Fett's blaster, and then threw it into a pack of stormtroopers and had them fight to the death for it, because that's just the type of man he was. The problem with this is that you don't see a handle anywhere on this gun. That's why I have not confirmed that this is the EE3. Okay, this last one is just weird. This dabbing stormtrooper is carrying what seems to be a DH-17, but there are key differences. The main one being that the handle is at the end of the blaster, which is not seen on the DH-17. This gun also doesn't have a scope and is much uglier than the DH-17. The tip of the gun is also slightly different. You know what? This gun is just ugly. I don't even want to know what gun this is. Y'all ain't had to search for this one. Well, that was all the blaster pistols in the original trilogy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the bell if you did. I'm open to any criticisms that you have to make this channel better. I promise it won't hurt my feelings, so say what you gotta say. Also, tell me what type of content y'all want to see, I'm already working on some more videos on the original trilogy. I'm also working on a cool new theory video that I hope y'all like. Well, this is the true Star Wars warrior, and this is the end of my first video. Bye.